Hi everyone, I'm Chloe.
Hi, I'm Michael.
Hi, my name is Steven.
Today we are very excited to introduce Gamma, the AI-powered platform that creates stunning presentation, website, and social media posts in minutes. Have you ever dreamed about your slides can make themselves? That's exactly what Gamma does.
If you're a teacher, trainer, or consultant, Gamma lets you focus on your ideas while it handles the design. It then went viral in 2023 for making presentation design effortless. And the results aren't just fast, they are polished and professional.
Yeah, in this video, we'll show you how Gamma works in real teaching and training contexts. For example, imagine you are an ESL or English teacher creating a lesson on greetings in English for beginner students. Let's see how Gamma can create that whole slide deck from scratch. First, let's see how we can access Gamma. So when you open Google, you just tap GAMMA and the first link should be gamma.app. You click here. This is where Gamma is. So after you signing up, you came to this dashboard and you click new. Here you can see there are three ways that we can create slides. The first one is paste in text. You click here. If you already have notes or outline, you can just paste it here and Gamma could improve your design. And the second way is import file or URL. You click here, you can see you can upload your existing material and Gamma would improve that. The third one, which is that we want to show you today, is generate with AI. You can see how magic it is. And when you click generate, you came to this page and you can see we can generate a presentation and website and social, some other materials. Today we will show you how to generate presentations from scratch. Because we want to generate an English slide, greetings slide, so let's just input one prompt. You can click generate outline. And you can see in seconds, Gamma is creating the outline for you. You can see it is comprehensive, right? You can, if you want, you can edit here, and you can also rearrange the order here. Also, you can choose text content. And speaking of visuals, you can also choose theme, and you can also choose image models, image type. So you just click generate. Let's see the magic happen. You can see now Gamma is doing the generating thing for us. So we can see it is comprehensive. However, it is too stiff and textbook-like, right? So we want Gamma to make it more interesting. So let's see how we just input another prompt to make all the content to another level. So there is an agent you can see here and also a theme here. So we'd like to change the theme first. And I would like this one do, so I choose this one. Let's use AI agent to improve all the content. So let's see. So you can see how Gamma change all the content for us. And next, hand it over to Stephen He.
Hi, I'm Steven. So for my section, I'm gonna introduce you guys the image function in the presentation and click on that. And of course, you can, for example, like upload your own image. So we click Image AI, okay? And as you can see, a side menu slides in from the right, and this is where image can be milled out of Gamma automatically with just a few clicks. So the key to generating perfect image that closely align with your needs is to basically focus on how you prompt your instruction. So yeah, so this is basically the prompt that I generated previously through ChatGPT. as you can see, like this image is basically generated based on my prompt. So let's move on to the smart diagram feature. You just click smart diagram here. So for demonstration purposes, I'm just going to show you the idea function, which I believe is this one. So what I love so much about Gamma is that it's not gonna give you an empty template, as in the one, well, let's say in Microsoft Slides or in Google Slides, right? So as you can see in each individual cell, it's already pre-filled with tests. So which Gamma kind of generated based on the context of the slides that come before and after the slides I'm working on, right? Let's hand it over to my code.
Hi, I will be introduce some functions of Gamma. The first function I want to illustrate is the charts and the graphs. First, we need to add a new chart. So just basically click here, and then you have the new chart, charts and graphs. You can generate column chart, bar chart, line chart, pie chart, donut chart. So if you're a teacher, sometimes you want to show some data to make comparison. So you can use this function. Okay, to give you example, like you want to show how many countries use shake hands as greeting. You can generate the column chart like this, but you can also convert it into the pie chart, the donut chart, the line chart. So it's very convenient, you see, very convenient. And sometimes if you want to insert a video or an image, you see you can add some YouTube video into your slides or some TikTok video, Spotify. Gallery means you can both add image and videos in one slide. So let's say if you want to insert a YouTube video, click here and then just copy paste the YouTube link. Right? You see now the YouTube video is in the slide. Let's add a new card. And sometimes if you want to show some web page, you can click here, embed apps and a web page. So you can insert some Instagram web page or Figma for online discussion or Google Drive to share some files. It's very easy and very convenient. As teachers, sometimes you want to show some website link in your slide. You can click here forms and buttons. You can add buttons to a text box, and then it will direct you to the website. When you are done with your presentation, when you think it is ready to present, there are different ways to present your slides. The first one is just simply by click present here, and then you can present the slides to your audience. Also, you can share the slides by exporting the slides into different formats like PDF, PowerPoint, Google Slides, PNGs. The last function I want to mention, which is very, I think, helpful in your presentation, is that when you present your slides, sometimes you want to emphasize certain image or certain text. You can right-click here, spotlight the block. Now you see other blocks are kind of like fade away. Now when you want to emphasize one text, you can click here, and now you can switch to different highlights to impress your audience. Okay, that's all the helpful functions we might use during our teaching. Now let's discuss 5 aspects of Gamma to reflect on this AI-powered platform.
So let's dive into the technical dimension. What AI models does Gamma use? Gamma doesn't build its own large language model from scratch. Instead, it works as a front-end platform that connects to several existing AI systems. For example, as for text generation, Gamma uses Claude from Anthropic ChatGPT and Gemini. And as for image creation, Gamma use DALL-E, Imagen, and also some other like Leonardo to generate visuals. And speaking of video generation, Gamma use Luma, provides video creation. So for users, that means Gamma offers the strength of several high-level AI models. However, it also means the outputs of Gamma come from third-party AI and may not always be accurate. So it always better to double check before you present what Gamma gives you to audience. Next, let's dive into the pedagogical dimension. The question is, what role does Gamma position the user in? I would say collaborator. So Gamma would support learning by positioning the learner as a co-designer, providing a strong starting point. While meaningful learning happens when the user evaluates, edits, and personalizes what Gamma produces. So this means Gamma can lower technical barriers to content creation. It also allows focus on what to teach, not formatting. So meaningful learning can happen through editing and customization. Another question here is, can Gamma hinder learning? I would say if users rely on the AI too much, skipping the process of critical thinking and design judgment, it might be. So be careful when you use too much AI tools.
Okay. Critical reflection. There are several questions. The first question is, does Gamma hallucinate or produce errors? The answer is, of course, yes. According to the reviews and my user experiences, Gamma sometimes produces inaccurate or irrelevant content. For example, incorrect facts, image doesn't match with the text, or formatting layout issues. For example, let's look at this picture. So this is the picture that Gamma generated. Okay, according to the text, it says, in Japan, bow politely with your hands at your sides. But let's look at the picture. So people in this picture, they hold their hands together. It's not the Japanese way of bowing. As you can see, the picture, the image doesn't match with the text. So that's one kind of errors that Gamma generates. The second question is, how can users verify the tool's outputs? For images or text, users have to be very careful or cautious. Users need to double check whether the image match with the text. If there's a mismatch, you need to fix it by yourself. In terms of the facts, users also need to verify the facts. If you see that a slide includes any factual claims like data, statistics, names, you need to double check it on a reliable source. What assumptions or bias are embedded in Gamma? The first assumption is because Gamma was fed by the so-called Western style of slides, and their audience are like Western work field workers. So the assumption for a standard audience, the context is like Western style. It is not cultural specific. For example, they don't assume us the standard audience is like from China or from Japan. The second bias is the training and templating data. As I mentioned before, Gamma was trained by English slides template or like Western working field slides template. They are not trained with other like languages template, like in Chinese or in Thai, in Vietnamese language. They don't. So Gamma has this bias because it's training data. The third bias is that Gamma has a claim to speed, efficiency over accuracy or nuances. For example, as we can see, Gamma tend to generate the slides very fast, but it might produce some errors or ignore the accuracy. The last bias is the cultural and visual bias from dominant design norms. Because Gamma was trained by Western style slides, so all the visual include is like Western. They don't usually include Eastern style visuals. So that's why Gamma has this cultural and visual bias.
Let's pause and think about the ethical dimension of using Gamma in education. First, let's talk about misuse scenarios. So one obvious risk is definitely over-reliance. So if teachers and students use Gamma to generate all their visuals, they may just simply stop questioning whether the images actually represents reality, as Michael mentioned before. Another misuse scenario is definitely students uploading personal content because Gamma thrives on input prompts. But if let's say if a teacher asks student to upload class notes, essays, or images to turn into visuals, we need to ask where does this data go? Who owns it? According to Gamma terms of service, user-generated content may be used to improve their platform. So this means that the ideas students upload, even if original, might feed back into Gamma's AI system without clear ownership rights. So I think this is a big deal. Okay, let's also turn to labor and data extraction. So AI models like Gamma don't come from nowhere. So they are trained on enormous data sets, much of which actually comes from work of human creators. So like artisans like photographers, designers, and even writers. I think they all contributed content, right? Often without consent. So while Gamma feels effortless to us, it actually sits on the foundation of invisible labor. So as educators, we have the responsibility to acknowledge this hidden workforce, and really talk about it with our students, right? Otherwise, we risk normalizing the idea that creative work is free for machines to exploit. And there are also some impact on creative industries. So tools like Gamma make it possible for anyone to produce sleek slides and charts in minutes. I think this is very empowering, undoubtedly, but it also disrupts professionals like graphic design and publishing. So for students, this also means the job market they are preparing for is shifting dramatically. We should also be honest about I think we should also be honest about these disruptions so they can really understand both the opportunities and the cost of AI adoption. So let's move on to metacognitive dimension. For this dimension, I think the big question is when should we use this tool and when should we not? So Gamma really shines in contexts where visuals help explain abstract ideas. So for example, showing how greetings have evolved over time can be made more engaging with colorful, decade-based graphics. So in this sense, I guess Gamma is a great scaffolding tool. It helps beginners see the meaningful the meaning behind these words, not just like simply memorizing them, right? So I think teachers can use timeline to anchor conversations, making lessons more interactive. But I think there are also times when we should not use Gamma. If our goals is to basically foster authentic communication, right? No AI tool can replace face-to-face conversation. I think with over reliance on AIs, we think we as students are basically deprived of this natural settings where we can really kind of bounce ideas off each other. And I think that's a really important learning process, right? So I think students need to like role play greetings, make mistakes, and really laugh about it with peers. So if we rely too much on AI visuals, I think the classroom may basically become more passive. How should we integrate Gamma more responsibly? I think I would probably argue we should frame it as a co-creator, not the authority. So for example, I could show students a Gamma generated timeline and ask them to critique it. Do these greetings, for example, like look similar, or do you use them? What's missing? And I think in that way, students aren't just simply learning English greetings, they're also learning how to evaluate AI outputs critically. So I think this is a very important digital literacy in action. And this also brings up to another point. Does Gamma change what is worth learning? Well, I think it's definitely the short answer is definitely yes. In the past, students learned by simply memorizing set of dialogues, like "How are you? I'm fine, thank you," and "you." Right? I think this is a very traditional Chinese joke. So, but in today, I think part of learning is also about how to learn with AI. That means understanding prompts, recognizing bias, and finally, let's also consider, let's say, teacher reflection. So I think for educators, using Gamma should also speak self-questioning. Am I saving time with visual at the expense of student talk? Am I helping students become critical users of technology, or passive, or simply passive consumers, right? Am I choosing Gamma because it is pedagogically effective, or just because it is shiny and new? Thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah. Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much. Bye.
Bye-bye.